Hello and welcome. For this video, I thought I'd show you what I got up to on a quiet weekend at home. I have been quite busy lately, so I really just wanted to have one where I mostly stayed in. And it turned out to be pretty rainy for the majority of it, so that was perfect. I did plan to start this video a few days before, but on Friday night I just played Resident Evil Village. I love this game so much. Wow, look how beautiful it is. I have been trying to play this for weeks, but my motion sickness was killing me with the first person parts, but I managed to get through this with my travel sickness medication and some C-bands. It was worth it though because I finished the game, and this felt like such a feat for me, not because I found the game to be really hard. I actually got through it quicker than some of the other Resident Evil games, but just because I was battling my motion sickness the whole time. I did go out Thursday night and I had a cute rainy night out with my sister. We ended up getting these Chainsaw Man blind bags, and we both ended up with Pochta, so I was really happy about that. I also saw these cute pot vinyls, which were tempting, especially the Ellen one. Some Halloween leftover items were still around, which was nice. But in the end, I just ended up getting this cute little bag. It was just a very nice impromptu evening out that ended up being a bit cozy. It's now Saturday and it's raining a lot. Even Rico didn't really want to get out of bed, but I took my time getting up today and I did some reading in bed, which is a bit of a luxury for me. But eventually I did get up and I cleaned up a bit and I had a shower. This is my collection of body oils from Devil's Bath Parlour that I have built up over the years, and this one is my favorite. But lately I've also really enjoyed smelling like pumpkin spice while I'm at home. This is my daily skincare routine at the moment. And of course, living in Australia, sunscreen is really important. This one is my go-to. I usually just wear the regular version or tinted if I'm going out. And as I have oily skin, I'll often wear this powder. Funny story, I accidentally bought this late one night at Don Quixote in Japan. If you've been there and you've experienced the chaos of that store, you'll get what I mean. But I actually really love this and I wear it pretty often. This is a typical comfy outfit for me at home. I got this Monsters jumper when I was living in Spain years ago. I think it's from Bershka, and I'm wearing this Uniqlo set. If you haven't noticed by now, I get all of my basics from there because the quality is great. And it's now time for Rico's breakfast. After this, I popped out quickly to the post office to pick up a parcel, but I lost my umbrella, so I did get rained on a little bit. But back at home, I put on my favorite lo-fi channel, which is this live stream of Tokyo. I watch this every day. I just find it really comforting and relaxing. And I'm lighting up some of my candles here in my living room as well. Now it's time to warm up with a matcha, so I'm going to soak my whisk first for a few minutes. This is the matcha I use. It's not the best one I've ever had, but it's decent, and for the price also, as I drink this every day. And I'm now going to put it through this sieve to get rid of any lumps. I like to add a little bit of the water first, and then I whisk that a little before I add the rest in. I usually do about 75 mils of water at 70 degrees. I'm not an expert, but matcha is very precise, and these factors really affect how it tastes in the end. Sometimes I will drink my matcha without milk, but I'm going to froth some milk today to make this a latte. I am okay at frothing, I would say, but I can't do latte art. So just think of this as abstract latte art, I guess. I'm now catching up on my emails and messages, which I am always behind on. And now I'm going to do a bit of journaling and organizing to plan things I have coming up. I am very much a to-do list person. And even if I'm having a quiet weekend at home, I will still set myself a goal of things I want to achieve, whether that's shooting and editing something or just aiming to finish a book. I also did a bit of reorganizing in this corner of my desk. This is my little Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen cat plushie. Last week, I got 2 of these, and they were my first blind boxes that I ever bought. I've never been into these before, but as soon as I saw the JJK ones, I really wanted them. I actually tried to buy Gojo Unbox 3 times online, but my orders kept getting cancelled, so I got him on my second try, and I was so happy, as you can see. I did get Haibara in my first box, and he's really cute, and I also love him. I probably won't buy any more of these though, because they are quite expensive. I am now popping out again quickly to grab some takeaway from a cafe. The cakes here looked really good, but I didn't end up getting one. But it was pouring when we left, so this raincoat really saved me. But I did end up buying an umbrella. The food was pretty good. I got this pastry, and my sister surprised me with this JJK baseball blind bag. I'm opening a lot of these in this video, but I swear this is the last one. But I ended up getting Momo, who is the only character I didn't want to get, and my sister got Toge, so I was a little jealous. I'm now settling in to do some editing, which I did for a couple of hours. It was then time to take Rico for his afternoon walk, but it's raining, so raincoats are on for the both of us. When we got to the park, it was a little better as we were shaded by some trees, and of course I had my new umbrella, but Rico was still a little sad. So we headed home and dried off. Then it was time for some snacks and a hot cup of tea. I have been drinking this one a lot lately, and I've gone through a few boxes. I then stayed on the couch to relax and catch up on some reading. For dinner, I was feeling a bit lazy and I just wanted something easy, so I decided to make some basic noodles with veggies and tofu. This is also really comforting for me because it's what I grew up eating. So I've added some broccoli, mushrooms, the tofu, and then I'm going to add some soy sauce and a bit of Chinese 5-spice also. I'm then cooking these noodles for just a minute or two, and then I'm going to add these in. And then I'm adding some chili oil at the end. This was very basic, but just tasty and comforting. And Rico really wanted some too, but of course he couldn't eat it. After dinner, I really like burning incense just to get rid of any cooking smells. This is a yuzu one that I got from Muji. They are pretty expensive for the size, but the smell is really good. I think they're really good quality. I'm now doing my nighttime skin routine. I had some sensitivity issues earlier this year, and these products have really helped heal my skin barrier as they're all really gentle. And I'm now making another cup of herbal tea, and I'm going to have some of this 90% dark chocolate. I really love the really dark chocolates. And I ended up watching the movie Abraham's Boys, which I really liked. The short story by Joe Hill has been one of my favorite reads this year, so I'm really glad that I finally got to watch this. I then ended the night with some reading, and I had an early night because the next morning I was up early to watch Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca with some of my Patreon members. We watch one movie together every month, and Rebecca was our book club pick for October, so it was just so much fun to watch this together. It's one of my favorite books. This was an excellent adaptation, and I want to watch more of Hitchcock's movies soon. My boyfriend then made me this very nice breakfast, and he also made me a coffee too, which was great. I then just enjoyed some quiet time in my room, which is one of my favorite things on Sundays. And I read more of the 125th anniversary edition of Dracula, which is annotated. I've just been reading that slowly lately, and I just enjoyed my coffee. I then wanted to set up this microphone I bought recently because my microphone just decided to die last week. So that was not the best. I had to get this one quite quickly. I liked how customizable it was with the light, so of course I chose red. And the next thing I knew, it was after 3 and it was getting really dark and it was about to rain. And Rico was getting really excited for his afternoon walk. So we headed out. We had to wear our raincoats again because it did start to rain, which is okay. We are used to it now living in Melbourne. We always have 4 seasons in a day. So we headed out. When we got to the park, it was actually kind of sunny. The weather here is wild, but Rico was really happy. So we headed home after a little walk together and some fresh air. I then also made a matcha just so I could power through a couple more hours of editing so I could meet my deadline. But then I had to shut down because I was hitting a wall. And then we watched this documentary on Netflix together. My boyfriend and I really enjoy watching true crime documentaries, and this one was pretty interesting. For dinner, I just made another stir fry because I was feeling pretty lazy and tired. So this was easy. I then had a hot shower and washed my hair and did a face mask. I really like this one. I find it's really soothing. And then it was time to catch up on the Talamasca. I have some thoughts on this show. I am enjoying it. I really appreciate that there is a show about the Talamasca because I've been obsessed with them for the longest time. But it's kind of more of a spy thriller show, and I want it to be more of the historical society of archivists with a dark academia feel. But again, I'm just really happy that this show exists and I am enjoying it. I then ended the night with some reading. I do try to read every night, but especially on Sundays to wind down and prepare for the week ahead. I thought I'd show you the start of my next week as well. I just received this makeup gift box, which is a Junji Ito collaboration with the brand Little Ondine. I was really impressed by this collection. I'm so glad I got it. The packaging and all of the products are really amazing. So I just wanted to give you a quick look of this. I actually wore this today. And I decided to go get my nails done because I really hate these nails. So I wore the lipstick from that collection, and it's just like a nice everyday color. And it's freezing again in Melbourne, so I'm wearing a puffy jacket. I'm not complaining though, today feels like winter, which is nice. So I headed out after work. I decided to grab a coffee on the way because I was a bit tired. And then I headed to my appointment. I ended up getting these red cat eye nails, and I just felt like order was restored, going back to a usual color that I like with a little twist. I really like how these turned out. I decided to do a little bit of thrifting afterwards, but I wasn't really looking for anything in particular. I was just kind of browsing, so I didn't end up finding anything, which was okay. And then I headed home in the rain. I'm just going to talk quite quickly about the books that I have been reading lately. My reading in the past few weeks has been very slow and kind of sporadic and all over the place, but I do go through waves with my reading. Sometimes I'll read 8 books in a row really quickly, and then other times I struggle to get through 2 or 3, which is normal, I guess. But I've shown this book a lot in this video. This is The Feeding by AJ Ryan, which is a book that was sent to me by Orbit Books at the end of last month. And it was sent to me with 2 other books, which was very nice of them, part of their Run For It series. So I also received these 2, which I haven't had a chance to get to quite yet, but I'm going to read soon. This book is set in a dystopian world, which I always love reading books like that. It's about this character Layla, who lives in this little town called Redoubt in this world where these vampire-like creatures have taken over. So it really reminded me of The Walking Dead and also The Last of Us, which is mentioned here. I think it definitely has similar vibes to that. It's more about the relationships and the things that the people in these little towns left in this apocalyptic world go through rather than, the vampires themselves. So it's a little different to what I usually read, but I'm always up for reading something new. I quite like the protagonist. I thought she was very interesting, but I did struggle a little bit at first with this book. I think it is a bit slow and hard to get into, maybe for the first third or so. So it's a bit of a slow burn book though, where the end is quite thrilling and it picks up so I got through the rest of that quite quickly. I think this would make a really good movie or series just because, yeah, it does have those kind of similar aspects to The Last of Us and The Walking Dead, which are series that I really like. But overall, I quite enjoyed this. It's not a bad read for me. I think just because it was a little hard to get into, I do think it's worth giving a go. So I would rate this 3 out of 5. This year I've been rereading a lot of books, and this book, 1Q84 by Murakami, is a book that I read maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and I really loved it when I read it. And I don't know why, but I just started thinking about it recently when I spotted it on my shelf, and I was thinking about reading this again. I really loved this book, but I do have some issues with some of Murakami's characters. Being older now, I am interested to see what my experience is going to be like and if I'm going to love it as much as I did then. So I plan to start this one pretty soon. It is a very big book, so I expect this is going to take me through to the end of the year, but I'll be reading other things at the same time. And speaking of other things coming up, in my Patreon book club, we will be reading The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher very soon, which won the poll for our read for November. I have read a couple of books now by this author, not for a while, so I'm really excited to get into this because some of us have already read it and are rereading it now, I believe, because it was so good. So we're going to be starting this one very soon, so if you're interested, I'll drop a link below.